Okay, we're back. It's me again.
Whoa. Oh.
I'm here. It's me.
I keep running too fast into Speed Force. And
It's like we're back in time. Oh my goodness. So there's so much to talk about today. I'm Shawn.
This is Drew.
Yes, he is. So we have something a little different. Again, we keep adding stuff. This was a huge week.
Yes, huge.
Week was nuts. I think we each said we read, what, 25?
Yes, at least 25 comics.
25 books. That's not a bad thing.
No.
So we're going to do our top 5 skip-its. Again, this is March 30th for books releasing tomorrow. Last day of March already.
That's crazy.
We're going to do our top 5 skip-its. And then we're going to do 5 love it, hate it's.
Yes.
These were books that I loved a part of them. They could have made it into my top 10 if it wasn't for this one thing that I hated about it. Or vice versa.
Yeah.
It could have been in my hate-its, but there was something good about it.
Yes.
So you're going to get 10 reviews right now.
Yes.
Let's stop screwing around and get right to it, okay? So skip-its. Here we go. Top 5 skip-its. These are the books that we just do not recommend.
In no particular order.
No order at all. Okay, my first one is Johnny Walker, U.S. Agent. Shadecraft. Oh, yeah. We're going to argue about this one. Okay, go ahead. Why didn't you like Shadecraft?
It's just, it came across as just very boring, just redundant, just a very redundant, like, coming of age, quote unquote, chiller, thriller, horror story. I'm like, it really wasn't that suspenseful for me. It was very kind of painted by the numbers, and it went ways. It's like, okay, I think I'm supposed to be shocked by this. It really feels like a world it's lived in, which is cool. It left me kind of confused at first. I'm like, is this a new series? But it was, but it had aspects I did kind of like, but most I just didn't like. It just didn't grasp me. It didn't, and like this, it felt very painted by numbers and very unoriginal to me.
I'll say my thoughts on that one for later.
Okay.
It did make it higher on my list though.
Okay.
So I don't read this. Johnny Walker, U.S. Agent.
I've tried.
Of course, Falcon and Winter Soldier. If you're watching it, U.S. Agent. I'm sorry, Captain America, Johnny Walker, new front and center, right? If you read comics, you know, of course. Spoiler alert: he doesn't last as Captain America. I think he becomes a villain for a while. He has a kind of a weird history, but I picked this up to try to give it a shot. Most people will probably see it on the shelves this week and try to look at it. It's written pretty well. I think Priest is writing it.
Priest, yeah.
It's written pretty well. I don't care about the characters. I like the way the story was told. It's kind of like flashback, multiple different events happening. But it didn't catch my attention as far as I don't care about the characters. And at the end, the big old reveal for the next issue, I'm kind of like, what? It lost the verisimilitude, the realism of it, just whoop right out the window. So if it would have ended a little better, I probably would have picked up the next one. Again, I didn't read issue 1 through 4. I just looked at it because of, obviously, Disney Plus Falcon Winter Soldier. But just skip it. You're not going to miss anything. Oh yeah, there's so many. How much super soldier serum in the world is running around out there?
Yes, and that's one of the faults I have with that series. There's too many characters in this.
Yeah, can I get some super soldier serum? Like this dude's sister can get some, and this other random dude can get some. Hey, I'm down. Like you know, I'm down. Can I go to a anti-aging place to get some super soldier serum? That'd be pretty cool. So that's my thoughts on that. That's a skip it. Okay, next one. Oh man. Hold on, let me see if that one made it into this pile or not. Go ahead, say what it is.
Batman Catwoman, issue number 4.
I'll say,
Jim Lee cover.
Mine is Witchblood.
Okay. That probably would have been in mine if I had read it, but as soon as I saw the blue hair, I said no. But with this, it honestly, it's a book I want to love. I feel like it's really made for me, but I'm sorry, I'm not paid to be Tom King's therapist. And I know he's got a lot of mommy wife issues, and I really know Catwoman is more or less the front and center of this series than Batman. It's very much so in one of the panels where you see Catwoman overshadowing Batman. And it's like, I'm sorry, I'm not reading it for this. It's a skip it. If you're being paid by him to be his therapist, awesome. There's a lot of Freudian issues in this comic.
You don't like the series at all. You tear it up every week.
I want to. It's one of those things. I want to love this. I want to, but it's so hard. He makes it so difficult. Come on, Tom. Come on.
I'll say my thoughts on that one later too. Okay, I picked the cover that's going to get most people's attention. First Dazzler homage. This book is all over the place, and I wanted to like this. I really did. The premise behind it It's a super old witch, right? Witch blood. She's a witch. But she's. I have notes. I had to take notes. The banter, even her inner banter. She talks to this crow. I'm 47. I say this a lot. I could never date like a 20-year-old because I couldn't stand having a conversation with them. No offense to 20-year-olds. Cameraman's probably close to 20, right? I couldn't stand it. I felt like it was nails on a chalkboard reading this girl's banter. Like she's trying to be comical and trying to be funny, trying to be cute. And then I started thinking about maybe this is written for kids. And then she drops the F-bomb a couple times. Okay, it's not written for kids. As an adult, I couldn't stand to read it. And there's a lot of stuff in there that's just super unrealistic. I'm going to quickly explain what bothers us about this for me. Remember the movie with the lichen in it? What is it? Kate Beckinsale running around. Underworld, right? I will suspend reality in long enough to believe that there's vampires and werewolves in the world, and there's bazillions of years old. Okay, I'm going to deal with you to agree in this, right? Don't try to pass out. There's a part in the movie where a regular human gets punched so hard, they fly at least 30 feet in the air, they impact with a concrete wall, and then they fall to the ground 30 feet, and 3 scenes later, they're going, ugh, and they're getting up and just kind of shaking their head off. I'm like, whoa, okay, checked out.
Yes.
So I'll agree that this is a fantasy world and there's werewolves and monsters and vampires, but don't convince me that don't suspend the laws of physics. A normal human, if you hit them that hard, you break their jaw, you probably punch through their face, right? Same thing with this comic. Everybody has perfect aim. She's going to be hit with a sword, and she throws a jar at a swinging sword. The jar makes perfect contact with the sword, shatters perfectly, and the spell inside the jar affects the sword.
Samurai sword skills are part of witchcraft.
There's another part where she's getting on her motorcycle, which she has a nasty wreck on the motorcycle and brushes it off. I didn't know she had super endurance, right? And then she's getting on her motorcycle. Her enemy throws a cross at her. It perfectly hits her in the side of the head so hard it knocks her down, because in the next scene, the protagonist is standing over her with her sword. No. Like, by that time, I was already half checked out of it, because the banter and the words, it's too much. Another part of it, she's going to cast a spell. Say you mean you were in a fight.
Yes.
Like, we're really in a fight. If you were like, magic comic book.
Sing sing salabim.
Become comic. I need to add ingredients to this comic. Oh, it's now a magic comic. Ha ha, I throw it at you. You're just going to stand there and watch me do that? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Casting a spell.
I'm not going to punch you in the mouth. I'm not going to try
magician?
to...
Let me just stand here and wait for you
to
cast your spell. Come on. Terrible writing. Just skip it. I went off on it enough. This book, I was mad after reading this book. Yeah, and the art's just very... It has kind of an anime feel to it, but it's not anime. It just... I don't know if this book knows what it's trying to be. It's trying to be not for me. So there you go. There's my skip it. All right, next one. Oh, man, we're going to talk about that, too. This is going to be surprising. So you have The Flash.
Yes.
Right? You have The Flash.
Yeah.
And I have Man-Thing. And I chose this cover, the Gleason cover. Oh, we're being told.
Yeah, we're being told to straighten it up. Yeah, we're good.
Okay,
yep, we're good. All right.
All right, so
yes,
I'll
sorry,
start this one.
I had the Flash 768.
Flash 768. I'll start. Okay, so here's the way to describe this one. Plants, world, burn, bugs, fire. I don't know if this book's supposed to make me like Man-Thing more. Man-Thing gets his ass kicked in panel 4, maybe.
Yes.
Like, he's out of it.
Yes. Yeah.
So, look, no one cares about Man-Thing anyway. He's Marvel Swamp Thing. Swamp Thing is infinitely cooler than Man-Thing will ever be. Let's just get that out there. It's always a thing. And then the Gleason cover. I do like the Webhead style covers, but this was a reach. Marvel took a hit. That cover he did for Spider-Man is so good. And then he did it for Carnage, which wasn't as good, but still pretty good. Yeah. And then they jumped the Spider Universe and went to Man-Thing.
You know, it reminds me of a year or so ago when Marvel did those warp covers, where like the Mortal Hulk warp covers, like Joe Bennett did. reminds me of this.
Yeah.
This is the new Warp covers.
Yeah, I mean, Marvel took something really good and they took that, they created it as a gimmick to try to sell more issues of a comic that we could care less about. I barely cared about Man-Thing in the first place. The cover sales are very strong on this because of the cover. I recommended it. If you're a fan of the Webhead covers and you're trying to collect them all, then pick it up. You're going to be disappointed in the story. The only fun part I did like about it was the She-Hulk's banter. She-Hulk, she's has like kind of dumb Hulk speak, like Hulk smash type speak. Her trying to explain what's happening over their little comm link. Captain America goes down and she's trying to explain, right? She keeps calling him Winghead, right? Like she can't even say the word Cap. I guess she's too stupid to say that. But it was just funny trying to see her explain through the comm link what happened to Winghead. Winghead down, bug Hulk smash more. Like, what? We don't understand what you're trying to say. What not understand? She can say understand, a three-syllable word, but she can't say cap. Anyway, it was kind of funny, but it was also annoying at the same time. So that's my thoughts on this. I think it's a skip it. Go for it.
I, for one, I love The Flash. I love DC Comics, and I am pretty much done and checked out with what they've done with Wally West.
Okay.
It is beyond irredeemable at this point, what they've done to him, pretty much making him a serial killer, and then redeeming him with Brett Booth and Norm Ratman, what they did.
Yep.
And then making him a killer again in Future State.
Yep.
And now this, where he wants to quit being the Flash, which I don't get. I mean, you don't have to you don't have to give up your powers to stop being the Flash. You can just have them, stop. Which is what Max Mercury and Johnny Quick did. But anyway, that's another story. And now they start bringing in these weird concepts about the Speed Force. There's alternate dimensions in the Speed Force. It is beyond stupid to me.
The Speed Force is alive. And it can make decisions.
And it's broken. The Speed Force is broken. It's like...
It's broken and it can make decisions. It picked him.
And dinosaurs can run fast, too.
The Speed Dinosaur was kind of fun and annoying at the same time. I was more annoyed by the banter of him. Banter is the theme of this. This issue brought to you by the word banter. Banter, word of the day, kids. Right? Yeah, it was more... I thought it was kind of touching, like, this is it. The last time you'll ever do this.
Yes.
The last time you'll ever run. He's giving up his connection to the Speed Force for a better life. And then it all goes south. And then he's racing with dinosaurs. I don't know.
No, I'm giving up. I am done with the Flash right now.
I just don't like how they turned him into, like, if I landed in another time in the body of a caveman,
yes,
I would be freaking the shit out and not joking about certain things.
Yeah.
I mean, you could argue all day about what they're used to do situations, and that's why they're heroes, but I don't know.
It's a very strange story that makes little to no sense, and it's just figure out what you're doing with Wally West. Figure it out.
Yeah. I had it in it almost made my love it hate it, because there were parts of it I love, but I mostly didn't like it. It's a great, fun book to read with your kids. I feel like The Flash is always being written for a 13-year-old. That's kind of how I feel like their guidance is. Yeah, except for Heroes in Crisis. All right, next skip it. We got 2 more skip its.
Yes.
I didn't even read that.
Okay. Just real quick.
Go ahead.
Mine's quick. This is too much. It is, I know Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. I know the guys on Earth. I do not know the Space Rangers, but there are so many Rangers in this issue. So many space characters that I just I'm checked out. Have a focused story.
You're a big Power Rangers fan.
Yeah, it's like I want to read this. I want to enjoy this, but when you have too much going on, it's like I'm checked out. There's no focus here.
Okay. So I picked Silk #1, and I picked the cover. Everybody's gonna. So the main cover is fantastic. That almost made my love it hate. It's just for the strength of that cover. The Yoon cover, it's so good. But I picked this cover. It's not Momoko. Everybody's gonna think it's Momoko. I forgot the artist. Shame on me. You know what? I'll look at it real quick. It's the upside down, looks like Momoko cover. That's not Momoko. There's just really no Silk. I kind of felt like they're trying to make her Peter Parker, a female Peter Parker. Wu Nayoung. Now there's a Bartel cover to this that's fantastic. Bartel did the Women of Marvel covers this month. It's really good. Pick that one up if you like it. Story-wise goes, I was just not impressed. It's so much character development. She's a reporter now. So shocking. She's has witty banter with her people she's fighting. That sounds familiar. she's working for J. Jonah Jameson. That
That's
sounds
very original.
interesting.
Who's this J. Jonah Jameson guy?
I don't know. He's his first appearance. Yeah, there was just not enough silk, and then here's another thing. Spider-Man has a complete thing covering him, right? Silk is just from here down. If I work with a girl all day, and then I see her later on and she has a thing over her face from here down, I'm gonna be like, "What are you wearing over your face?"
She's not even wearing a mask. You can see her eyes.
You can see
in
her
hair.
eyes. That's where we make connections as humans. Her hair
Yes.
isn't any different. She doesn't magically web up her hair or put it in a beehive haircut or something crazy. She doesn't wear a wig. It's her. How can Jay Jonah so stupid that he's not going to know that that's Cindy Moon right there? Like, that's Silk. That's her. You work with her all day, and all of a sudden she saves you on a subway, and she's standing right next to you, and you're like, I'll hire you as my bodyguard. But you don't know who that is? Oh, my God. How stupid do you think we are?
And if anyone tries to give the Clark Kent conceit, no, that does not work here.
Remember,
that does not work.
his glasses have hypnosis in them.
Well, they have that. What Grant Morrison showed in his All-Star Superman run, like he hunches over, he even tried to make it push out his belly.
Yeah.
Combs his hair differently. Yeah.
But I mean, and that's was made in the 50s.
Yes.
This is written today.
Yeah.
This is written today. Yeah, just I'm not buying it. Did you talk about yours already?
Okay. Power Rangers Unlimited #1. Yeah, it's a skip it.
Okay, last skip it. I didn't even bother with that. I gave up last issue. So you have Other History of the DC Universe.
Other History of the DC Universe. Yes.
Issue 3, third one.
Yes, Katana.
Okay, and I have Symbiote Spider-Man #5.
Yes.
So I'll start real quick.
Go for it.
So once again, you're gonna forget everything that happens at the end, and there's no impact.
No.
Peter David's great writing.
Yeah.
The characters are great. Peter David's art's fantastic, but just it has no bearing on current events in the Marvel universe. It's like, hey, by the way, that's the whole thing behind Symbiote Spider-Man though. But hey, by the way, this also happened in the Marvel universe 20-some years ago. You might have missed it, but this also happened.
And we learned that the impact was next to nil.
It had nothing.
Yeah.
They basically nudged Null while he's sleeping.
Yeah.
They basically kind of poked him. Like, Null's sleeping, he's like, who did that?
Yeah.
You're going to pay someday. And he
spo-
goes back to sleep.
And,
It's
and-
so stupid.
and spoiler alert, they all forget it. They all forget it. It's like, what the hell was the point of this?
Of course, the Watcher's like, you can't remember any of this, so
Yeah.
what am I doing up here?
Yeah.
Really? Just come on, man. Just cop out. Yeah, the Null was the most laughable part.
Yes.
No, he basically just rolled over grumpy. Right? Who turned on that light? You'll pay for that later. He goes back to bed. It's so stupid. All right, go ahead with your crappy book.
So not only is this very racially charged in the wrong way, and not only...
Well, all of those have been that way.
Yes, they have.
I mean, and that's written from that's kind of thing behind this book,
yes,
too.
it is. Yes, it is. And, the other history of the DC Universe.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, they might as well just call it the Black History of the DC Universe.
Well, in this case, it's the Asian American.
Oh, sorry, the Asian American.
This one it is. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because the first one was mostly around Black Lightning, right?
Black Lightning, yeah.
Yeah, which I enjoyed the first one. I thought it was pretty good. They made some pretty good points in there. But after that, I just lost interest in it.
And when they start retconning the history of Katana about her sword, how it doesn't contain swords, that was just
That's her whole thing.
They retcon that in this.
Come on.
And the kicker, they refer to Superman as part of the problem. You can go screw off, John Ridley. I'm sorry. No, get out of here.
That's part of the problem.
Screw off. Get out of here.
I'm sorry you didn't come from a planet full of Pacific Islanders.
Yeah.
Or a planet full of Spanish people.
Yeah.
Or a planet full of black people.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he was written in 1938.
1938, June 1938.
I mean...
by two Jewish boys. Yes.
Yeah. And the Jews have had their share of racism, too.
I think a few million died?
Yeah.
Maybe?
Yeah. Yep. Just a few million.
Yeah.
Like, come on. Don't get me started. That's ridiculous.
Yes.
Keep your...
Yes, this made me furious. I wanted to tear this.
And you can't change. My thing is always this. I don't care if there's a black Superman or a female Superman woman. I don't care if you change it. I don't care if there's a gay Superman. But don't make the first Superman, the first one, all of a sudden you can't go back and change the core of the character.
You can't. No.
Like Katana. You can't go back and say it doesn't steal souls. Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. Okay. All right, so middle of the road. I have some more complaints.
Yes.
So these are the ones that could have been good, could have been bad. We couldn't make up our mind.
Yes.
Whatever. All right, here we go. First,
Here we go.
middle of the road. Oh, okay. I didn't read that one either.
Yes. Transformers War World 28.
I'll go because this is
Okay.
easy. So I picked Unnatural, Unsacred. Sorry, American Adult Unsacred. I hate the inside story. It's a bunch of comic strips. It's like slapstick kind of stuff. But this cover's fantastic. But there's so much good stuff this week. I couldn't put just a cover buy in there.
Yeah.
I have no just cover buys in there. They're either a key or a good reader this week in my top 10 because there's so many good books. So this would have made it if the interior wasn't as bad. It's a comic strip. If you're not reading this, but this cover's really good. That's my thoughts on it. Go for it.
So like a bunch of Garfield strips.
Almost, yeah.
yeah.
It's almost. I mean, it's not Garfield. It's an angel and a demon trying to have sex, and I guess they have a kid now or something. He's a teenager. I don't know.
Oh, interesting.
I just look at the pictures. Honestly, I don't even read this. I look at the pictures. Go ahead.
Transformers War World 28. This is one I want to love. I want to love this series, but when you give me like pretty much a romance explosion of characters in the face all at once, it's like whoa. Let's focus here. Let's focus on like one or two. All right, you give me Cyclonus, perfect. Let's focus on Cyclonus. All right, not him, not Wheeljack, not Sparkplug, not Bumblebee, not Ratjack. It's like you have like 20 characters at once. Like whoa. Slow this down. Come on.
You can't just future reference. Don't say, I don't want an explosion of romance all over my face all at once. You didn't even realize you said it. That's so funny. You literally said it was an explosion of romance, and you did the motion. You said all over my face all at once. Well done, sir. You take this show this week. Oh my God, I can't even now.
It's too much. It is too much.
I agree.
Too much.
That would be too much.
Too much.
Yeah. I mean, there's videos of people that like that. It's not too much for them, but for you, it's good
not
to know
me.
that would be too
not
much.
Up in here.
All right, Jew's not down for that. Okay.
No.
Yeah, I don't want romance in my Transformers comics either. I really don't. I don't want to know who Optimus Prime is trying to hook up with. All right. Oh, yours is okay.
Yeah.
So I'll start. I'll give you a chance to think about what you're gonna say. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, Beta Ray Bill. So good, but there's one part that just makes it so bad. He's trying to hook up with Lady Sif. Mm-hmm. In the beginning, it describes it. There's a romance to him and Lady Sif. Mm-hmm. And my first thought is, how does that work?
Yes.
How does that work, right?
Yes.
Well, apparently Beta Ray Bill's wondering how that's going to work too.
Yeah.
And I guess Sif is an idiot, never had a conversation with him. But it's really cool because Thor broke Thor Stormbreaker.
Yes.
That's Beta Ray Bill's thing, man. He broke. He's basically saying, "Hey, you jerk! You broke my. Oh, the fight with Fin Fang Foom is great. Nullified Fin Fang Foom. He got the squiggle on his head. Shows up. He's gonna wreak havoc on Asgard. I love that they still have the Galactus head there. Asgard is still Asgard. Galactus's helmet is still there that they're hanging out in. And he gets his ass kicked by Fin Fang Foom. Thor comes in, saves the day. Spoiler alert. So Thor saves the day, and just he feels insignificant with Thor around. And when he just utters the line, "I'm gonna go make myself beautiful again" or something like that, find my beauty, I was like, oh, cringe. So I loved it, but I hated it.
Yes.
I still advise you pick it up and get it, but just be aware, if he's gonna go find his identity because he's just not as cool as Thor is and he needs a new weapon or something like that, I got that. I hope he gets a new weapon. He says he's going to go find Odin or whatever, try to make him a new Stormbreaker. I hope he gets a cooler, newer weapon, which is awesome. And it's less about him trying to make himself pretty again. Anyway.
I didn't really know that was like a central focus of his.
Apparently it is now.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess when you're trying to,
Bang Lady Sif, yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to. There's so much things I would say, but I have kids watch this. Yeah. There's a couple guys in the comments saying, my kids love your show, and I'm saying, okay, Shawn's definitely biting his tongue.
We might have to retract my comments earlier.
It's okay. That's why it's just funny. Like kids. He's talking about like somebody squirts him with a squirt bottle in the face. Yes. It's annoying.
Yeah, squirt bottle of soap.
Or a water gun. Yeah. All right, anyway, what'd you have?
Symbiote Spider-Man number 5.
Oh, Symbiote,
yeah. I love Greg Land's art in this. Greg Land is still kicking butt. The dialogue is great in this, but the story ends up meaning nothing in the grand scheme of things. And Captain Marvel ends up saving the day in Spider-Man's comic. That really turned me off as well. On the whole, it's just like, man, it's
the old Captain Marvel.
Yeah, Monica Rambeau, Captain Marvel. Yes. And it really amounted to nothing.
Yep.
Yeah.
I guess not the old Captain Marvel, the middle Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
Okay, next one. Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Valkyries. I like the character of Valkyrie. I do. I like the character of Valkyrie. I like the Jane Foster's Valkyrie. I like her weapon that can turn into whatever she needs it to be. I like that they're fighting a gigantic dead celestial in between worlds. But it just lacks that. It lacks it. It's missing something, and I can't pinpoint what it is. Jason Aaron's writing it. I'm a huge Jason Aaron fan. It just felt so unfulfilling. I don't know. But it's one of those middle of the road ones. It definitely wasn't good enough to make it into my top 10. It wasn't bad enough to put in a skip it. It's kind of just left me wanting more. I enjoyed the story, but I just wanted more. They are starting a new Valkyrie series. Hopefully we get more there. Another part of it is the reason it feels so unfulfilling, just like Symbiote Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Zero impact in the Null story. Zero impact in King in Black.
But it says
Zero.
King in Black right there in the corner.
It's just, it's the same thing. No impact at all. Again, it's a perfect moment. Mm-hmm. They do a thing to Null, and he's basically like, oh, that was annoying. Curses whoever did that. It's a minor blip in his world. They go through all this effort, and it barely impacts anything. Anyway. Did you already do yours?
Not yet.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Avengers Man-Thing, I love the cover, but I love Man-Thing. I love Man-Thing and Swamp Thing. But like you said, he's effectively knocked out of the game, page 4, and it's the Avengers fighting off, the weeds are taken over by another...
and they don't explain that very well
elemental
either.
Magician, sorcerer?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird.
They don't explain her at all either.
No.
I don't know if it's the first appearance of her.
Yeah.
If it is, honestly, I don't even care because she's such a...
She's a pretty cringy character. I'm not going to lie. She's pretty cringy.
Yeah.
And retconning Man-Thing's past, which is like, I'm fairly certain that's not how he became Man-Thing. But anyway, it's just... And I thought Hulk's dialogue was kind of cringy in this. I mean, if you're going to call her... I always think of John Byrne's She-Hulk,
She's She-Hulk. She's not Hulk.
She's She-Hulk, yes. And she's Hulk. She's Hulk in this. And it's just like...
Hulk is Hulk.
Yes.
Hulk is Hulk.
Bruce Banner is Hulk.
Oh, he's immortal Hulk. No, Hulk is Hulk. She is She-Hulk.
Hulk, yes.
I don't care. Politically correct the crap out of it. She's She-Hulk.
Yes.
That was her name, given to her by Stan Lee.
Yes.
Just saying. Okay. And is that it?
One more. Oh, two more. We got two more.
Oh, two more. Yep. Holy crap. Oh, man. Okay, so you already had talked to this one. Mine is Batman Catwoman.
Yeah.
I love the Jim Lee cover.
Yes,
it reminds me
cover.
of Wolverine jumping out of it. I love Clayman's interior art. Can Clayman draw every comic ever published? There are some scenes in there where you're just like, wow, that is beautiful art. Beautiful art. I love that he's hinting that there's something between Catwoman and the Joker. But this was just it's such a drawn out story. I don't get the weird fight between him and Catwoman. What are they fighting about? They're fighting about nothing. Catwoman's being a jerk to him.
Yeah.
Like, for no reason. Like,
and
she makes some weird reference. Yeah. Just treat like you're better than me and you're lower than me like all your other lovers. What other lovers?
Yeah.
Vicky Vale? I mean, how many other people has Batman done that's not in the movies? You know what I'm saying?
And that's part of the problem with the time jumps, So at some point, she meets the Phantasm, who is, spoiler alert, Andrea Beaumont, from the movie.
Yeah.
So it's like, this. Like I said, this story would be so much better if it was a linear story.
I don't mind the time jumps. I don't. I just feel like it's dragging out.
It is. So, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
It's
It
in
probably
the
could be
middle
done
for
in
me.
6. It probably could be done in 6.
It definitely could have been done. Yeah. It's in the middle for me. The cover's fantastic. The art's fantastic. I am a Tom King fan. This one just needs to pick it up a little bit. What'd you got?
And I had Cult of Dracula. This is one I wanted to love.
Okay.
I went in. I was going to be very forgiving on this comic. I was going to be very forgiving. I love the covers. I love both covers for this. They're fantastic.
Yeah.
This story has a lot of technical problems in this. A lot of transition problems.
Okay.
A lot of time frame problems I'm having, and
I can see a little bit of that. Yeah.
And there's some jumps in it where I'm trying to figure out. So wait a minute, what happened
Who's
to these
where,
people here?
when,
Who's
what,
where?
yeah.
And just there were a lot of structural issues with this comic I had. I'll say that.
Okay.
It's a great concept. It's a great idea. I'm all aboard on it, but it's just you guys got to fix these technical problems next time. Because I mean, if you're not a very suave, reader of comics, you may be lost and like trying to figure out, whoa, when did this happen before this? What's going on here?
Yeah, that was a little bit. I forgave that part of it. I think I figured it out, and that made it in my top 10. I'll talk about that one in my next video. Okay, next one, last middle of the road. Remember, these are our medium books. I didn't even read that, so you talk about it.
Two Moons, number 2.
Oh, you go first, because I'm going to wrap it up with an angry rant on this one.
So this is a great concept. A Native American who is in the Union during the Civil War and learns some shaman back history, but the story drags out way too long. Too many characters, too much backstory, and nothing happens really in this, and it's just very
that kind
boring.
of seems to be a trend in some comics nowadays, especially some of these indie books. They're cramming too much. I just complained about not enough in the Tom King story, and this one just has too much in it. Like,
it's just, these are comic books. They're supposed to be fun, engaging, exciting.
Deep Beyond had the same problem. Remember, there's just way too much happening in Deep Beyond.
There's a lot of problems with that comic.
It's beyond me because it's too deep. Okay, I'm about to go off on this book. The only saving grace of this comic is the cover. Jen Bartel, fantastic job. You, young lady, are a rock star. Keep cranking out these fantastic covers. The interior art in this, they intentionally, and this drives me crazy. You guys know how I feel about this.
I saw it. It drove me nuts too.
You have two fully grown, well-developed,
yes,
athletic, they can jump from rooftops, right? Athletic women wearing skin-tight clothes that are doing stuff. Jumping off buildings, fighting, standing there, right? They have muscles, they have curves, they have bodies. The artist intentionally drew them to look like they have no sexual elements to them whatsoever. There's no cleavage. If there is cleavage, there's no curve to it at all. It's technically flat. The hips are totally flat. There's a scene at the very end where you see they call her the Queen Cat, I think she is, the white one, the white suit girl. Yeah. Who used to be, what's her name? She was the Demi-Goblin. She shows up now. She's the Queen Cat. You see her look from dead behind, looking up. She's looking at a wall. Nothing. Looks like you're looking at a board. The art in this is atrocious. It's terrible. It's insulting. Why are artists, and it's a female artist.
Yes, and I'm gonna rant about this when you're done too. I got a serious.
Why are you so afraid? And this whole women shouldn't be sexualized. You know what? It's not sexualizing. That's what people look like. That's what people look like in the world, especially these kind of people.
Men are attracted, and women too, are attracted to bodies like that. Sorry, that's chemistry. That's biology.
We've evolved that way.
Yes.
Sorry.
And there's a reason why. There's a reason why the Adam Hughes 1 in 25 is selling for $90. There's a reason why.
Whoever drew this interior is terrible. You can take whatever agenda you have and stick it up your end. You're writing comic books. Know your audience. Know who you're I don't want to say pandering to, but know your audience. You're trying to make some kind of a statement. You know what? It's unrealistic. If, like I just said, I'll say it again. To have the physical, go YouTube CrossFit games and look at those female athletes in there. They are the most fit, badass, incredible, amazing women in the world with the things that they can do. Their endurance is off the charts. They're super in shape, and they have curves. They have the muscles. They have the legs. They have the thighs. They have everything to be able to do those kind of things.
Oh, Gina Carano. She's another one.
Why are you afraid to draw them that way? Why are you afraid to draw them that way? I just, God, it drove me crazy. It drove me crazy.
Marvel needs to figure out, because clearly there's a hypocrisy going on with the covers and what's on the interior art. Figure out which one do you want. You can't have. They're trying to have both. They're trying to have their cake and eat it too.
I don't blame Marvel so much as I blame, because what a lot of times I think they'll do is say artist interpretation. So they'll let the interior artist do what they want to do. This artist made the choice to draw them that way. So I hate your art. I hate your stance you're trying to make. I absolutely, and that's a very strong word.
I concur
but
in your
hate
hatred.
it.
Yeah, I'm tired of it.
I feel insulted not as a man. I'm not some creepy weird guy that wants to see a bunch of TNA in his comics.
I'm insulted as a Black Cat fan.
I just want to see realism.
Yes.
Realism. That's not what people look like.
Or better yet, how she's been drawn the last 40 years. This goes against everything she's been drawn as for the last 40 years.
And that's part of Felicia's identity as a character.
It is. Yeah.
She's a cat.
Yeah.
She enjoys the power of her sexuality.
Yeah.
That's
she
part
knows
of her.
the strength in that power she has, the sexuality.
Strength in that power.
Yes,
Thank
there
you.
is.
So, ladies, don't be afraid of sexuality.
No.
Don't be embarrassed by it.
Yeah.
Don't listen to these women that are trying to tell you.
Don't let some blue-haired, half-head-shaped psycho telling you, no, that's bad. No, that's hot. We like that. We love it. It's awesome. Flaunt it if you got it.
Just it takes a lot of work to look that way.
Yeah, it does.
And people strive to do that. It takes dedication, hours and hours in the gym, strict diet. It's a lot of work to have the ability to be able to jump off of rooftops and buildings, have that kind of athleticism.
Yeah.
You should admire that, not be ashamed of it. Why are these women trying to tell people they should be ashamed of how they look? Especially someone that's attained that level of fitness. It's not something to be ashamed of. It's something to be celebrated. So, F this artist. I hated it. But the cover's great. Only reason it's not my bottom one, because Jen Bartel, you nailed it. All right. That's it.
Yes.
Thanks for listening to us rant. I'm going to reset, get in a better mood, and you're going to see our top 10 in a minute. Buy what you like, collect what you want. We're just two guys. It's our opinions. Agree with us, don't agree with us. That's cool. Love you very much. Sub to the channel. I got a massive giveaways coming. And thank you, and we'll see you guys soon.